What is going on? We do Transformations Coach. In this video, we're going to be talking about the DM Messenger phone script to book calls and make money. Unless you follow this script, you risk wasting time in the direct messages, conversations that don't go anywhere. Does this sound familiar? Maybe you've tried to reach out to people on social media, but they don't seem interested. You feel like you're wasting time and you feel like nobody is interested in buying or joining the program. I used to struggle with that too until I found a blueprint, a system to follow that consistently generates phone calls and opportunities. Now, here are the rules of engagement in the direct messages. Okay, I want you to write these down. Engage, qualify, confirm, and convert. Please write those down. The rules of the DMs: engage, qualify, confirm, and convert. Now, engage. You need to post something public to get your prospects to raise their hand. This is a call to action, an Instagram story poll. Your prospect engages on your post and they express interest. Qualify. You ask questions to qualify them and you validate their responses to your questions and you make the prospect feel seen and heard. If the prospect responds to your DMs, they are interested. Confirm. You want to ask if they'd like some help solving their problem. They reply, "I'm open to it." Convert. This is where you offer a call. You're going to send your calendar booking link. You're going to add urgency and scarcity, and it's not over until the call is booked with the prospect. And you're going to say something like, "Go ahead and book it now. Spots always fill up quick." Cool. Now I'm going to dive deeper into each one of these things, and I'm going to explain how they actually work. Some other rules to keep in mind. Number one is do not send novels. If you're sending out messages where you're like, have you ever received a text from somebody and it was like a novel and you didn't want to read it? We don't want to do that with our prospects, okay? So what you want to do is this is important. If you understand this concept, you're going to start to book a lot more calls and you're going to get a lot more success in your DMs. You want to write 1 to 2 sentences max and then send the message. And then if you need to say more, write another couple sentences and then send that message. The conversation always needs to appear organic, not like you're copying and pasting. If it looks like you're copying and pasting, people aren't going to respond. The second rule that you want to keep in mind is you want to keep open loops. Now, the definition of an open loop means that you end your sentence with a question. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Just like that, right? So I've got something that you might be interested in, period. Cool, question mark. Like you always want to end with an open loop. Basically, an open loop encourages people to respond back to you. Now, let's talk about how to keep the conversation pure organic, because if it doesn't feel organic, your prospect will get turned off. We're going to follow a 3-step framework called validate, relate, and lean in. Now, validate means that you hear them and you understand what they're saying. Relate means that you relate to what they're saying. And lean in means that you ask the next question. So validate means that you hear what they're saying. So let's say your prospect says, my number one goal is to lose 20 pounds. The first step of the process is to validate what they say. That's an awesome goal. I love that, right? So that's validating what they're saying. I hear you. That's a great goal. That makes sense. Losing 20 pounds. That's an awesome goal, right? So you basically want to validate what they're saying. Relate to what they're saying means that you relate with what he or she said. This isn't always needed for short responses, but when your prospect starts really opening up about their struggles, we do need to relate to what they're saying. So let's say your prospect is like, I really want to lose 20 pounds because, I want to be a great mother for my kids. And I feel like my daughter is watching me not be able to play with her and it's embarrassing. So you're like, first of all, losing 20 pounds is an awesome goal. We're going to validate what she said. Then we're going to relate to what she said. I'm a mother too, and I know how important it is to be in shape for my kids, which is why I started chasing my own fitness goals. So we're relating to what you're saying, right? And then we're going to lean in. Now, leaning in is where we ask the next question. We move on to the next part of the script, okay? I'm actually going to go back because this is so important, okay? So let's say, I'm going to give you another example. Let's say your prospect says, I'm interested in, getting in shape because my mother has stage 2 cancer and I don't want to be, I don't want to end up on my own deathbed wondering if I would have had more time with my kids. So validate what they're saying means that you hear them. First of all, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Validate. Then you want to relate. I've had a lot of health problems in my own family as well. And, it's really scary and it really makes us aware of why it's so important to work on our health. Send. And then we're going to lean in and ask the next question. So let me ask you, what's been the biggest thing holding you back from working on your health and fitness goals? Right? Does that make sense? So we want to ask the next question in the DM script. Or if their answer is very short and it's not engaging, you can ask an expansive question. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you ask, what's your number one fitness goal right now? Let's go validate, relate, lean in. What's your number one fitness goal right now? And they're like, I want to lose weight. Like, I hear you. You don't need to relate because it's super short. I would actually lean in. Tell me more. Like, how much weight do you want to lose? Right? And so we basically want to use this framework, validate, relate, lean in, and adjust it based on what the prospect is saying. So if the prospect is giving us really short answers, then we need to validate and expand. And if the prospect is giving us longer answers, then we need to validate, relate, and lean in. Because that's where we're going to get our prospect to open up. And once our prospect starts opening up to us, then we can offer a free fitness consult so we can help them change their life. Now, you're in conversations on social media with people who may or may not be interested. You're already talking to them. Now, the way that you get into the DM script is how you're going to book the phone call, okay? I recommend running anyone who's interested through the DM script because it's going to be the most effective way to get them to show up for the call. The transition question to start the DM script is, would you mind if I ask a couple questions to see if I can help you? Okay. So if you're in a conversation with a potential client or potential prospect, you always want to ask, would you mind if I ask a couple of questions to see if I can help you? This gives you the frame of coach and them the frame of client. As soon as they give you permission to ask questions, even if you've already been asking questions, now you know you're in the script. So I'm actually going to show you guys a DM script, and this is the We Do Transformations DM script to book phone. So again, the DM script starts with a transition mentions. When you can tell that a prospect is interested, like an inbound lead, or you send a message and they express that they're struggling with something, first thing you want to say is, would you mind if I ask a couple of questions to see if I can help? Usually their response will be short and sweet, and that's all right. And they'll be like, sure, let's do it. No problem. I'm like, awesome. What's the biggest thing you struggle with in your fitness journey? It doesn't matter what they say. We're going to validate, relate, and lean in. So you want to lose 20 pounds? I totally get that. I've been through that myself, or I've helped my clients through similar situations. Validate, relate, and then lean in. How long have you been struggling with that? And they're going to say, I've been struggling for the last 10 years. 10 years. Oh, I see, ... And then we're going to relate to what they said with a personal story. Like, I've been through something similar. I struggled to lose weight for 20 years, tried a bunch of different diets, gained the weight back. I get it. What's your number one fitness goal right now? If it's a short answer, you want to ask an expansive questions like, what do you mean by that? Or how much weight do you want to lose? Why is that important to you? If they give you a good answer and a good reason why, continue with the DM script. If they give you a decent answer, my definition of a decent answer would be like a short response. You want to ask them why. And you want to mention their goal. Super realistic. Why is that important to you? And then reply with why it's important to them. And you're going to say, I love it. Would you like some help? Sometimes they'll say, what does that look like? Sometimes they say, I love some help. But no matter what they say, you're going to say this. I tell you what, why don't we set up a quick 15-minute call? We'll go over your goal of losing. Don't put their specific struggle here. You want to put, we'll go over your goal of losing 20 pounds and why, and why. We'll go over your specific struggle. So we'll go over why you can't lose the weight and your goal of losing 20 pounds, and we'll come up with a game plan to help you get there. Are you up for that? And they're going to say, sure, absolutely. That sounds good. And if they say, how much does it cost? You're going to say the call is completely free. It's just to come up with an assessment of what you need and a game plan for you. No matter what, you'll leave the call with value and an idea of what you need to do to lose 20 pounds. Does that sound fair? They're going to say, yep, sounds fair. You're going to say, cool, give me a sec. You're going to send the calendar link, that little Calendly link that I taught you guys how to make. Go ahead and book it now. Spots usually fill up quick. Once you're done, come back and let me know what time you picked, period. Cool, question mark. Now, if they don't book within an hour, you want to go comment on one of their Instagram posts. If they don't book within 2 hours, you want to go into the messaging sequence and like one of the messages that you sent to them. If they don't book in with 4 hours, you can send them another message. You can say, all good, question mark. And if they don't book in by the next day, you just want to send them a quick video being like, yo, John, good morning, brother. I just wanted to, I just had some time to get back to you. Go ahead and save your spot in that calendar because it always fills up quick. And you want to send the calendar link again. Boom. So that's it. Your homework is to start practicing the DM script with anyone who is currently on your social media who has expressed interest. Now you have a framework and a guide for exactly what to do in the DMs. It's your job to take action on this framework and this guide and start utilizing it so that you can start booking phone calls and changing some people's lives.